how have you been looking at governance in the cooperative banking sector, because that has been one of the important themes by the Reserve Bank of India, and what is the next phase of growth?
जो जितनी बातें मैंने यहाँ सुनी हैं, मुझे ऐसा लगा क्योंकि आप तो कनाडा बेस हो गए हैं, तो ये जो सारा यहाँ बातें चली उसमें ऐसा लगा कि ये पूरा सेक्टर एक बहुत बड़े होराइज़न के ओर जाना चाहिए। ये बात तो ठीक है कि हम लोगों को पुरानी बातें छोड़नी चाहिए, नया सोच होनी चाहिए, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सोच होनी चाहिए वगैरह वगैरह। पर मुझे आप कह सकते हैं कि मैं पुराने ख्यालात का आदमी हूँ। मेरी सोच ये है कि कौवा चला हंस की चाल, अपनी भी भूल गया। हमारे सेक्टर जो ये कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर है, इसकी इंक्रीमेंटल ग्रोथ होगी। अगर हमने बहुत तेज भागने की कोशिश की तो कहीं हम घूम ना जाएं। आप ये नहीं कह सकता कोई आदमी कि 20 वर्ष पहले जो हम लेजर लिखते थे वही लेजर आज लिखते हैं। तो चेंजेस तो हुई हैं, उन चेंजेस के साथ ग्रोथ भी हुई है। आखिर 6-6.5 लाख करोड़ का अर्बन बैंक काम कर रहे हैं, तो कोई ना कोई तो कारण रहा होगा। तो क्योंकि केवल मैंने बैंकों की बात की, हमारे लिए ट्रेनिंग भी महत्वपूर्ण है, ग्रोथ भी महत्वपूर्ण है, टेक्नोलॉजी भी महत्वपूर्ण है। ये आपको एडमिट करना होगा कि कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर ने टेक्नोलॉजी को एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है। टेक्नोलॉजी नाउ हैज़ कम टू स्टे इन अर्बन कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स, ऑल्सो इन कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज़। तो हमने स्वीकार किया है, तो इसका मतलब है हम नई चीज़ों के लिए अडॉप्ट करने की स्थिति में हैं। पर हमारा ये कहना है कि हम जहाँ हैं वहीं से थोड़ा हमको ऊपर खींचे। ये है यहाँ इस स्टेज पर लाने के लिए 3-4 सीढ़ियाँ हैं, तो हम चढ़ आएंगे। अगर ये स्टेज कहीं 10 सीढ़ियाँ ऊपर होगी और हम तो नीचे ही होंगे तो हम चढ़ ही नहीं पाएंगे, तो हमारे लिए सारा आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल हो जाएगा, मामला आउट ऑफ रीच हो जाएगा। और मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ टेक्नोलॉजी वालों को भी, बाकी लोगों को भी, और अम्ब्रेला को भी। अम्ब्रेला के सीईओ साहब ने प्रेजेंटेशन की है यहाँ कि हम जो इस सेक्टर में हैं, हमें एक्चुअल चाहिए। हमारी जो मजबूरी है, हमको कल आरबीआई पूछता है कि आपने क्या किया इस मामले में, तो हम आरबीआई को ये नहीं कह सकते कि नहीं 6 महीने के बाद हम टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप करेंगे और तब करेंगे। हमको कल ही बताना पड़ेगा उसको। तो हमको जो मिल सकता है वो बताइए, जो मिलने वाला है उसका जब मिलने वाला होगा तो देख लेंगे। NAFCUB ने एक ट्रेनिंग का प्रोग्राम शुरू किया है और भारत सरकार की मदद से किया है। तो हम कोशिश करते हैं अपने जो डायरेक्टर्स हैं उनको सेंसिटाइज करने के लिए कि भाई आपको गुड गवर्नेंस, ऑडिट, कंप्लाइंसेस, टेक्नोलॉजी, इसके बारे में थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा, बात करनी पड़ेगी। और उसके अच्छे रिजल्ट्स आ रहे हैं, लोग सोचने लगे हैं। हम ही लोगों ने प्रश्न खड़ा किया कि जिस डायरेक्टर ने, आप सोचिए कि जिस डायरेक्टर ने बैंक बनाया और वो ग्रो कर रहा है, वो डायरेक्टर ना तो प्रोफेशनल है, ना टेक्नोक्रेट है, ना सीए है। जितने ये अर्बन बैंक बने हैं, ये किसी सीए ने कुछ बनाए होंगे, शायद किसी टेक्नोक्रेट ने नहीं बनाए। लोगों ने अपनी एक इनिशिएटिव से, अपनी समझ से ग्रो किए हैं। मैं उसको जाकर के कह रहा हूं मैं तुमको ट्रेनिंग दूंगा, तो उसको लगता है यार ये कौन आदमी है जो मुझे ट्रेनिंग देने के लिए आया। पर जब उनको हम समझाते हैं कि आज की परिस्थिति में ये आवश्यकता है और ये गुड गवर्नेंस हो, तो लोग जरूर उसको अप्रिशिएट करते हैं। तो मेरा निवेदन ये है कि चर्चा भी होगी, अच्छी चर्चा होगी। ये प्रयास अच्छा है कि हम लोगों को वैसे ही अपने धन में घोड़ा बिठा दिया यहाँ। ऐसे सीईओज की एक डिस्कशन यहाँ हो और सीईओज अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स बताएं और अपनी चर्चा करें, तो ये अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है। मैं आपको बधाई देता हूँ कि आपने ये सीईओ राउंड टेबल बनाया है, इसको अच्छी तरह से और चलाना चाहिए, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है, इसके लिए आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई।
धन्यवाद. Thank you very much for setting pace to the conversation. तो अब let's get into the crux of things. Subhash ji, you have been one of the regular part of this entire activity. Why don't you share the perspectives on what are the directions we should take in today's conversation so that we can go to the next level?
First of all, I will thank Banking Frontier for honoring the frontiers of banking, that is Urban Cooperative Bank. They are 120 years old. You are frontiers of banking. 120 साल से आप क्रेडिट नीड्स ऑफ पुअर्स एंड मार्जिनलाइज सेक्शन का पूरा कर रहे हो। उस समय जो नीड थी क्रेडिट की, सोशल बैंकिंग की थी, मनी लेंडर से बाहर निकालने की थी, और आज का जो कारपोरेट गवर्नेंस है वो डिफरेंट है थोड़ा। आज का कारपोरेट गवर्नेंस क्या है कि बैंकिंग को रेजिलिएंट, बैंकिंग सिस्टम को रेजिलिएंट और रोबस्ट बनाना है। और किस लिए बनाना है? क्योंकि हमारी इकॉनमी, जैसे इनकी स्लाइड में मैंने देखा कि इकॉनमी 7-8% ग्रो कर रही है, और जब इकनॉमिक ग्रो करती है तो बैंकिंग सिस्टम का बहुत बड़ा रोल होता है उसमें। दूसरा क्या है, इकनॉमिक ग्रो करेगी, किस लिए चाहिए हमें इकनॉमिक ग्रोथ? 140 करोड़ पॉपुलेशन हो गई है, तो उनको कहाँ से खिलाएंगे? बाहर से तो कोई देगा नहीं हमें, यहीं से ही पैदा करना। और हमारी जो इकॉनमी है वो कंज्यूमर बेस्ड है, जो हम पैदा कर रहे हैं खुद ही खा रहे हैं। तो इस चीज़ को भी हमें, बैंकिंग सिस्टम नहीं, हमें इसको भी बचाना है। और तीसरा सबसे बड़ा जो है कि बैंकिंग जो है, 200 करोड़ से ज़्यादा डिपॉजिट्स हैं बैंकिंग सिस्टम के, और 150 करोड़ से ज़्यादा लोन है, तो टोटल बिजनेस 350 करोड़ का है। जिस कारपोरेट का 350 करोड़ का बिजनेस हो, 350 करोड़, 350 लाख करोड़, 350 लाख करोड़ बिजनेस हो, तो उसमें कारपोरेट गवर्नेंस तो होनी चाहिए। और इस 200 करोड़ के डिपॉजिट में से कमर्शियल बैंकों का सिर्फ 45% जो है DICGC से कवर है। 55%, 5 लाख से ऊपर जो है डिपॉजिट अनकवर्ड है। बैंक फेल नहीं होने चाहिए। अगर बैंक फेल होते हैं तो ये सारा 55% 200 करोड़ का, ये 100 करोड़ से भी ऊपर होता है, वो उसको कौन पे करेगा? इसकी भी जिम्मेवारी जो है बैंक्स के बोर्ड के ऊपर ही है। और अभी जो डिजिटल एज में जो चल रहा है, अभी फ्लाइट ऑफ डिपॉजिट हो रहा है, किसी को पता नहीं चल रहा, कंट्रोल नहीं है बैंकिंग के डिपॉजिट की फ़्लाइट पे। जैसे अभी सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक फेल हो गया USA में, वैसे ही हमारा क्रेडिट सूसी जो स्विट्ज़रलैंड का बैंक फेल हो गया, बिकॉज ऑफ मोबाइल बैंकिंग और नेट बैंकिंग के कारण पता ही नहीं, कंट्रोल ही नहीं हो पा रहा। तो ये सब चीज़ों के लिए गवर्नेंस चाहिए। तो ये बैंकिंग सिस्टम में गवर्नेंस की बहुत बड़ी इस वक्त जिम्मेदारी है। और अर्बन बैंकों में तो और भी ज़्यादा है। अर्बन बैंकों में MSMEs का मेजर पोर्टफोलियो है। आपका प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर लैंडिंग जो हो रहा है उसमें 45% जो है MSMEs ही हैं। और MSME जो है वो देश की तरक्की में सबसे आगे चल रहे हैं। 9 करोड़ के जॉब क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। 30% आपके एक्सपोर्ट में MSMEs का योगदान है। और अर्बन बैंक जो है और स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक, ये दोनों मिलके इस सेक्टर को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। तो अर्बन बैंकों के ऊपर एक एक्स्ट्रा जिम्मेवारी है कि आपको MSMEs को सपोर्ट करना है। आपकी गवर्नेंस अच्छी होनी चाहिए ताकि आपके बैंक फाइनेंशियली साउंड और वेल मैनेज्ड रहें। और दूसरा क्या है कि अभी हमारे पास सबसे ज़्यादा लाइसेंस हैं, 1500 लाइसेंस, 75%। टोटल जो है 140 हैं कमर्शियल बैंकों के लाइसेंस, हमारे पास 1500, उनके पास 140 बैंकों के पास 94% मार्केट शेयर है और हमारा 3 से 4%। काफ़ी सालों से है, 5-6 साल हो रहे हैं और इसको इम्प्रूव करना है और उसके लिए कॉरपोरेट गवर्नेंस जो अर्बन बैंकों में है वो मजबूत करनी है। तीसरा पॉइंट है कि जो हमारी वीकनेस है अर्बन बैंकिंग सेक्टर में, 1500 बैंक्स में से 65% बैंक जो हैं ए, बी और बी प्लस रेटिंग में है। ए में सिर्फ 60 बैंक हैं, 4%। 1500 में से 4% बैंक, 60 बैंक जो है ए रेटिंग में है। और आप सोचो कि कितना काम करना है आपको, गवर्नेंस कितनी इम्प्रूव करनी है। उसके आगे जो पेनल्टी जो लग रही हैं सबसे ज़्यादा कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स में। पिछले साल 215 बैंकों में पेनल्टी लगी है 12 करोड़ रुपए। ये 12 करोड़ अगर प्रॉफिट में जाता तो बैंक की हेल्थ और मजबूत होती। तो ये कुछ ऐसे जो रीज़न है, इनको देख के गवर्नेंस इम्प्रूव करने का जो है वो लक्ष्य मिनिस्ट्री ने भी, आरबीआई ने भी NAFCUB को सौंपा है कि आप ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम करें और इन सब को सेंसिटाइज करें कि ये बैकग्राउंड है, इस बैकग्राउंड पर आप कंट्री को आगे ले जाना है। सहकार से समृद्धि कैसे होगी? सहकार से समृद्धि तो सहकारी बैंकों से ही करनी है ना। भारत विकसित जो बना रहे हैं वो बैंकिंग सिस्टम ही करेगा ना उसको। तो इसके लिए फाइनेंशियली साउंड, वेल मैनेज्ड, रेजिलिएंट, रोबस्ट बैंकिंग सिस्टम चाहिए ही चाहिए। और पिछले साल से आपने देखा होगा गवर्नर्स, डिप्टी गवर्नर हर जगह जा जा के ये सेमिनार कर रहे हैं, अर्बन बैंकों को बुला रहे हैं, कमर्शियल बैंकों को बुला रहे हैं और उनको यही चीज़ें बता रहे हैं कि क्यों ज़रूरी है। और गवर्नर साहब ने पिछले बार जो कमर्शियल बैंकों के साथ मीटिंग की उसमें 7-8 पॉइंट बताए कि बोर्ड को क्या करना चाहिए। और सबसे पहले था कि प्लानिंग और स्ट्रेटजी बनानी चाहिए लॉन्ग टर्म, कि बोर्ड रहे ना रहे बैंक तो चलते रहें, लॉन्ग टर्म स्ट्रेटजी बननी चाहिए। दूसरा पॉइंट उन्होंने बताया कि जो आप अश्योरेंस फंक्शन है आपके बैंकों के, अश्योरेंस फंक्शन, उसमें क्या आता है? रिस्क मैनेजमेंट। उसमें क्या आता है? रिस्क बेस्ड इंटरनल ऑडिट। और तीसरा है उसमें कंप्लाइंसेस का। इनकी पालना होनी चाहिए, इनको अच्छी तरह समझना चाहिए। और उसी विषय में जो हमारी ट्रेनिंग जो बताई है लक्ष्मीदास जी ने, इस ट्रेनिंग का हमारा ये फोकस यही 3 इशू ही रहते हैं। राजस्थान में हमने किया है जो इनके सहयोग से, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, आपने पहली स्टेट थी जो हमें सपोर्ट किया। ऐसे ही यूपी में भी हमने कवर कर लिया है, ऑलमोस्ट 14-15 प्रोग्राम हो चुके हैं और 900 के करीब डायरेक्टर्स ने पार्टिसिपेट भी किया है। तो ये अश्योरेंस फंक्शन, लॉन्ग टाइम स्ट्रेटजी और उसके बाद है जो फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन, कस्टमर केयर, ये सारे पॉइंट उन्होंने बताए हैं कि ये कॉरपोरेट गवर्नेंस के ही पार्ट है। तो इसलिए जब कॉरपोरेट गवर्नेंस की बात आती है तो ये सारा आपको करना है। कस्टमर रिटेंशन भी करनी है, नए कस्टमर भी लाने हैं, साइबर सिक्योरिटी का भी देखना है और रिस्क मैनेजमेंट। और एक नया रिस्क जो आ रहा है क्लाइमेट रिस्क, उसको भी आपने समझना है। इस बैकग्राउंड के साथ हम आगे चर्चा करेंगे और मैं बाबू नायर से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो मॉडरेट करें। और पैनलिस्ट हमारे बीच दिलीप हैं, मदन गोपाल जी हैं और मेचा साहब हैं, आप भी थोड़ा रोशनी डालें। और मिस्टर डॉक्टर पाई हैं जो कि सबसे हमारे एक अच्छे बैंक के सीईओ हैं, तो काइंडली पुट सम लाइट ऑन दीज थिंग्स। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
Superb. Thank you very much. Very, very good encapsulation of the needs of the cooperative banking sector. इन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरह से संक्षिप्त में बताया है कि कोऑपरेटिव बैंकिंग में क्या ज़रूरत है।
Just one point is this platform, I think this platform, from here only the concept of umbrella organization has come out.
Thank you very much for that.
Five times we have discussed umbrella organization in this platform, and before that we were discussing the important issues. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you very much, sir. And right from the time he was the CEO of NAFCUB, we started discussing these ideas on how it has to be done and how different organizations in credit all over the world, the Rabo, from where we took a lot of understanding from uh, in this umbrella organization. So it is great to see this taking shape today. Now let's see, it is taken shape, but what is the scalability of it? Where are we going next? Okay, you highlighted SME as one of the most SME and small and medium business and micro, small and medium enterprises business and micro businesses. These are the next best possible sites to target for the urban cooperative banks or for the DCCBs, because retail has a limit. The retail sector will have definitely the limit. So let us understand a little bit about, has cooperative sector actually been looking at SME and micro banking sector, business sector? Sir, why don't you share some thoughts on this segment and how you have been looking from Andhra Federation and Andhra as an Andhra based bank?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
One of the challenges before the urban banks was we used to have 40% priority sector targets. Then it was raised to 75. We all represented to Reserve Bank of India. Then again it was reduced to 40%. But on par with the small finance banks, it was raised to 75%. See, any reservation, any priority, we were asking RBI whether it can be 75%. Then Satish Marathi ji was speaking it in an informal meeting. I asked him, sir, please represent in RBI. 75% is too high. When it is 40% for commercial banks and public sector banks and also foreign banks. Why cooperative banks are being punished or at this 75%. What Satish Marathi ji said, you are all doing it now. We have taken the average of the banks. Since you are doing it, we have kept the target. Everybody was reaching above 60%, 65%. Now 75% is very difficult. What we found the way is, go for the smaller loans. Micro enterprises, MSME, in that lot of scope is there. There is the employment creation is there. And the Government of India classification of trade is also a service. There are several services. Barber also is coming under service. Carpentry is also coming under service. Shops are coming under service. MSME sector is the most attractive sector. We can build the nation. Along with the nation's growth, our banks can grow. The only way is you should take this, see, smaller the loans, cost of administration is very high. You can't reach a customer 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers away, give him 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs, and he can't afford to come to your bank 10 times for signing the application, signing the loan documents, taking the sanction letter, again drawing the money. So digital lending is the only alternative for smaller loans. Definitely technology is essential, but how do you choose the technology? There should be a sufficient return on investment. Our NAFCUB CEO sir has already told shared resources. We are all awaiting for such a situation. And the banks who have embraced MSME lending are able to quickly achieve that 75% target, and they are able to do. Those who are lending on housing loans, mortgage loans, big loans, they have a difficulty. So similarly, one more thing, governance is very, very important from the morning. Our Lakshmitas ji was also mentioning several training programs have been conducted. at the directors level, CEO level, at all in several banks it was done, and some more in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh we will conduct from our federation side. More than that, that compliance or governance should reach down at the CEO level, at the other executives level, employee level. Accountability and compliance should be far reaching. Our strategy is mostly business strategy failure is one of the things. Risk management is not there, and liquidity risk is not being seen. I have seen some of the banks up to 85%, 90% of the deposits they are lending. I have one observation. There is no data bank. Within the bank also, we have some core banking, we are doing our job. But last 10 years, how we have grown, last 5 years, how we have grown, what is the interest margin, net interest margin, ratios. So there is a need, like our IBA, Indian Banks Association, is publishing data. Maybe a situation I suggest, NUCFDC also maintains data bank of all our 1500 banks, and on critical parameters, we will all submit the returns. Thank you.
Super. Thank you very much, sir. I think that was a very interesting observation of yours on how to empower the small and medium sector by getting into, digital lending, digital infrastructure, and probably that is what the umbrella organization is also looking out for. And of course, adoption of technology and payment or the kind of financial capability is definitely a difficult thing. But what can happen is if there is a scalability, if there is a scalable possibility, the vendors can also be involved into this entire activity. So I think it makes a lot of sense to create it at the federation level, at the umbrella organization level. Now, what is missing? Okay, is the technical or the ability. Now, when we are speaking cloud, okay, people say private cloud, people say public cloud, and there is another concept called as hybrid cloud. Okay, and I think that hybrid cloud is the most apt cloud that the banks have been adopting today, even the larger banks. The same way, our cooperative sector should have a hybrid solution to this technology. And they have to adopt a mixture of technologies that is used by the cooperative sector and the expertise of the private sector, which fortunately, the umbrella organization has already included a lot of private sector or bankers to come into the organization and get the best blend of versatility of both the solutions. So let me just understand from some other banks. You have said from the Andhra perspective, okay, you have been, Paisab has been into the banking sector. I know him for at least last 20 plus years, ever since I have been working in the cooperative banking sector. And absolutely. I am much more junior to you. I have started only, in 2004, we started our first cooperative banking sector. Okay, we started my first banking sector, Banking Frontier started its first cooperative banking event in 2003 in Kolhapur. Okay, that was my first event that we did. And we have Mr. Karnad and all that from Kolhapur, Mahalakshmi Bank. They were very, very helpful in putting these things together. So from your experience, you have seen several banks, Mahanagar Bank, to Parsik Bank, to various banks, Greater Bank. So I have seen you at least in 4 banks in my career. Yeah, 6th bank. I have seen you in 4 of them. So I wanted to understand from you this evolution which we are taking right now. And you have seen the perils of only getting into retail banking. Okay, there is a limitation of where the business can go to if you are only doing a retail banking. So there are 2 methods. One is either you change the game or you change the rules of the game. Now the rules of the game is basically the definition of essential sector. Can we lobby and create it? so that the banks have a wider battlefield and a wider canvas to play with. How do you see this being approached?
Actually, I am fortunate to be in this sector for last 48 years, sir. I started my career in 1978. And today's topic of corporate governance and technology, I did my research and I got the doctorate in corporate governance, this professionalism. What I personally feel, okay, we started the cooperative banking, all banking, forget. This generally started with the desk banking. Some of, we are that old ledger system. Then we switch over to automation. Then we switch over to local area network banking. And now the sky is the limit. What I personally feel that why technology and corporate governance is interlinked, it is because if you see for last 3 years, whenever RBI inspection take place, they are not asking for the financial, earlier they used to ask for the financial growth. Kitna deposit tumhara bada hai, kitna. Now they are not asking this. Now the very first point, actually I was seen for us to be, before coming to this seminar, my inspection was concluded last week only. वहाँ से मैं यहाँ आया हूँ. अभी लास्ट 3 साल से अगर आप देखते हो, धीरे 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 their report, first of all they switch over to risk based. The very first paragraph start with the cooperative banking, corporate governance, board. अभी तो इतना देखते हैं, बोर्ड में, सब कमिटी में वही डायरेक्टर है क्या? The object. The same director should not be there. I'm talking about first governance, then I will come to the technology. They ask the banks, if the same director is there in 4 or 5 committees, it proves that your bank is not working on the democratic principle, that is the basic of the cooperatives, and only certain one person is influential to take decision. In one of the bank, what they did, they took the minutes and they said that in this organization, only one person takes the 90% decisions. It is a fact. Now, last 2 साल में, if you see, the first paragraph of the report is on corporate governance. Now, do's and that was a quite old circular, but now they see whether it is followed. They are advising the bank, all these don'ts, whatever the don'ts are there, it should not be, only board should do do's only and not don'ts. If the don'ts the board is doing, they are penalizing. They said all the don'ts, take the case as very popular board का function cooperative में, recruitment, very popular function है all cooperatives में. Sorry to say, यहाँ बहुत रहेंगे यहाँ. Transfers, employees का transfer, very hot debate. They say it is not the job of the board. It is the job of the executive. And who are the executive? CEO and senior level management. Now they are also emphasizing that every bank should have a senior level management, as senior management personnel, that is SMP, on the same line of the commercial banks. So these positions are created. CO is the common, CRO, CISO, CFO, then all these positions are the part of the governance. And if you do not doing this, they are penalizing. Now slowly, gradually, if you see again, the first paragraph is governance of the board. Then BOM, functioning of the BOM. Third, this technology. कम से कम रिपोर्ट अगर साहब समझो 25 पेजेस का रहता है कमर्शियल हमारा बड़ा, अभी लास्ट 2 साल में 15 पेजेस तो टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर रहते हैं. साइबर सिक्योरिटी, कोर बैंकिंग अभी ओल्ड हो गया, CBS इज ओल्ड हो गया, ऑल बैंक्स आर नो कोर बैंकिंग. सुबह जो आपने बोला डिस्कशन में, कोर बैंकिंग में भी अभी डिजिटल बैंकिंग, साइबर सिक्योरिटी, देन रिस्क, उसके ऊपर ही उनका रिपोर्ट ही रिस्क के ऊपर है. और आई एम टेलिंग यू, they are minutely observing everything. Those days are gone when they used to come for the inspection and we used to give the record to them by hiding something. Those days are gone. I'm telling you frankly, they take your dumb data. I think somebody is there any CCO, is there compliance officer? They take the dumb data. हमें मालूम नहीं पड़ता है कि मेरे गोवा ब्रांच में कुछ विदाउट KYC अकाउंट हमें नहीं मालूम पड़ता है, उनको मालूम पड़ता है. इतना टेक्नोलॉजी उन्होंने की है और उन्होंने सॉफ्टवेयर भी इतना डेवलप किया है कि उनको पता चलता है कि आपके बैंक में जो अकाउंट एक लोन समझो ट्रांसफर करके लिया, वो फलाना फलाना बैंक में एनपीए था, आपने कैसा करके लिया। इतना एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी हुआ है उनका, एंड दे एक्सपेक्ट दैट कोऑपरेटिव board should follow this. Now coming to the board of BOD of the our what you call general structure. See, all cooperative banks are, what you say, all generally they are what you call, उन्होंने किसने बनाया है? Either by any community or caste, creed. Even some of the cooperative bank, you name you will suggest. It depicts the name of the caste or community. उस वक्त तो ठीक है, but when they say you are growing, they clearly told the board should only do the policy matters and not to interfere in the day-to-day affairs. And those banks, those who are not taking a proper technological based cyber security रहने दो, अभी ये डिजिटल पेमेंट और उसके साथ में रिस्क भी है। अगर आपके पास प्रोडक्ट बहुत है, वी प्राउडली बोलते हैं हम लोग, वी आर टेक्नो बेस्ड बैंक, बोलते हैं वो सवाल वो नहीं है, वो टेक्नो बेस्ड को आपके सिक्योरिटी एस्पेक्ट कितना स्ट्रांग है बोलो। उन्होंने भी ग्रेड्स बनाए हैं, लेवल 1, लेवल 2, लेवल 3. सो व्हाट आई वांट टू से, नाउ इन इंस्पेक्शन एंगल ऑल्सो द अप्रोच इज टोटली चेंज. इट इज माई रिक्वेस्ट टू ऑल योर सीनियर्स, डायरेक्टर्स और बोर्ड कि प्लीज पे ड्यू अटेंशन टू दिस एरिया. हम लोग क्या करते थे, क्या क्यों करना है टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर, इतना क्यों खर्चा करना है, मेंबर्स को डिविडेंड देंगे 20-25, दे सो नो, यू इन्वेस्ट ऑन दिस एरिया. टेक्नोलॉजिकल अपग्रेडेड फंड इज ओल्ड हो गया, नौ दे से साइबर सिक्योरिटी का फंड बनाओ, और सेकेंडली इंश्योरेंस भी वैसा ही ले लो. सी दिस इज प्रैक्टिकल. जस्ट नाउ आई फिनिश माई इंस्पेक्शन. 3 साल से मैं देख रहा हूँ, धीरे धीरे यही एरिया देखते हैं. ऐसा पूछते नहीं कि आपका डिपॉजिट ग्रोथ कितना हो गया, आपका एमएसए में एडवांस कितना हो गया, माई कासा इज वेरी हाई, माई कासा इज 55%. दे राइट कुछ अप्रिसिएशन करते ही नहीं साहब, बस इसके ऊपर बात बोलते हैं. So this is, as a CEO, I am telling you, this is my practical experience. So there should be a blend of your business and technology. And secondly, I'm asking you, हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी सपोर्ट नहीं करते हैं करके हम प्रोडक्ट या बिजनेस नहीं करते हैं. नो, टेक्नोलॉजी सपोर्ट शुड सपोर्ट द बिजनेस ग्रोथ ऑफ द बैंक, and not business growth should not be suffered because you don't have the technology. At least as a CEO, I will not expect. That is always a hot argument between my IT team. नहीं साहब हम नहीं कर सकते, हम सॉरी.
Great.
You can't, technology can't be obstacle for the business growth. If you want to do the business, your technology should support.
Let me just highlight you a couple of new bombs that you are going to see in the banking sector. Okay? You have seen CISO, you have seen CEO, you have seen CRO. CDO is the next one, Chief Data Officer. Okay? In cooperative banks, because there is PDP which is launched on personal data protection right. You cannot escape the data sharing and the problems that associated with it. There is going to be Chief Analytics Officer. Okay? AI is going to be big thing. AI is, again, Europe has already created laws around analytics and regulation of analytics, how much of AI can be used and how much of privacy can be used into analytics. So that rules governing analytics is the PDP which came, it will go to the next level in analytics. The third bomb that is going to hit the sector or the banking sector is the quantum bomb. There is something called as quantum computing. The quantum computing can increase the computing power by millions of times than the current thing, and all your passwords can be broken in a jiffy of seconds. Okay? Now there is quantum security coming for passwords.
Sir, I will share my experience. One small bank of, I think, maybe south side, I have visited. Generally, whenever I visit any state, no sir, it is my practice, I visit any cooperative bank there. I don't know, it is my passion. जाके visit करता हूँ. बैंक का बिजनेस है, सब 500 करोड़ का बिजनेस है. देयर ऑफिस इज ऑफ कोर्स है. वो 500 करोड़ का बिजनेस को भी उन्होंने सिक्योरिटी एस्पेक्ट इतने डाले, वो क्या करेंगे? वेयर दे विल गो?
करेक्ट.
सो एक्सप्लेन मी.
सो सर,
उसके लिए आप कुछ कर सकते हैं क्या सर?
My thought is, I just wanted to check with Brahmecha ji, because you have a federation which controls maximum number of cooperative banks in the country today. And आपके यहाँ पे सब टाइप के बच्चे हैं, बड़े बच्चे, छोटे बच्चे, काले बच्चे, गोरे बच्चे, सब है, सब है. Huh? And I think you have got the maximum number of small banks, medium banks, and the largest banks also. How have you seen the evolution of governance? Grounds up governance कैसे आ रहा है? Grounds up का मतलब है कि from the clerk level to the chairman level. How are we building a culture of governance grounds up in the banks and at all hierarchy level? And ये कैसे हो सकता है? Has there been any thought of it in the cooperative banking sector?
Uh,
Yes.
Just you are asking the governance of from the bottom to top. Governance, because of that last meeting with Governor of India, Shashikant Daji, on 12th of May 2023, he focused that Mr. Paise said that they are not nowadays asking the financial data. They are asking only the governance of the all aspects, compliance, culture, and everything. Because that he told that risk management. But nowadays, RBI going future risk calculations, and you have to provision on that. ये भी चीज़ आ रही है कि आज का रिस्क मैनेजमेंट नहीं, फ्यूचर का रिस्क मैनेजमेंट करके यू हैव टू डू द प्रोविजन इन कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स. ये भी हर चीज़ में आरबीआई एडवांस होते जा रही. जैसे आपने गवर्नेंस बोला कि फ्रॉम द बॉटम, दैट इज़ फ्रॉम द प्यून से लेके आप सीईओ तक, सीएफओ जो भी है, जो जिस पोस्ट है, सबके लिए आपको गवर्नेंस करना है. एंड आरबीआई नाउ फोकसिंग ऑन दैट. प्यून के लिए जो है शुरुआत से हर चीज़ के लिए, दैट इज़ द मेन थिंग इज़ अ ट्रेनिंग. ईच एंड एवरी बैंक्स हैव द ट्रेनिंग्स फॉर द प्यून्स. प्यून को लेके जहाँ से प्यून का अपने बैंक्स में क्या वर्किंग है, उसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ क्या है, उसके लिए वर्कशॉप लोड क्या है, ये कैलकुलेट करने के बाद ही वहाँ पे गवर्नेंस उसके साथ डिस्कस हो सकता है. बहुत सी, जैसे साहब ने बोला कि बहुत छोटी बैंक है, यहाँ पे साइबर सिक्योरिटीज़ के बारे में बोला कि 500 करोड़ की बैंक है, बट देर इज़ नथिंग, कुछ भी नहीं. मैं खुद जानता हूँ ऐसी कुछ बैंक, क्योंकि मैं पूरा महाराष्ट्र में करीबन 500 बैंक्स को हम वहाँ पे लीड करते हैं. जैसे बड़ी 500 करोड़ की बैंक भी है, वी गो देयर एंड आस्क दैट डायरेक्टर व्हाट इज़ द फायरवॉल. वो इस साइड देखता है, इस साइड देखता है, और ही डोंट नो. तो ये सब चीज़ें, हर चीज़ ट्रेनिंग से ही हो सकती है. गवर्नेंस जो आता है, जो गवर्नेंस के लिए आरबीआई की रिकमेंडेशन है, सोच है, क्योंकि हम भी चाहते हैं कि हर चीज़ में जहाँ पे प्यून हो, क्लार्क हो, ऑफिसर्स हो, जेएम्स हो, या सब जो भी चीज़ें हैं, आरबीआई भी वही आपसे चाह रही है. आरबीआई का हर एक कैलकुलेशन जो है गवर्नेंस पे यही है कि यू हैव टू इम्प्लीमेंट ऑल द फिजिकल एंड डॉक्यूमेंटल गवर्नेंस इन योर बैंक्स. फिजिकल, that means your board of directors to all that pune, all physically approved. फिजिकली वो जो चीज़ें हैं, जो गवर्नेंस के बारे में जहाँ जहाँ जो ज़रूरी है कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर्स में, हर चीज़ के लिए, क्लार्क के लिए एक सर्टन जो भी उसका वर्किंग है, स्टाइल है, जो भी है, उसके लिए जो एक गवर्नेंस होता है. जो गवर्नेंस वो बैंक के डायरेक्टर्स रहो या बैंक जो हमारा फेडरेशन है, वो वहाँ तक पहुँचे, उसको गवर्न कर, उसको अच्छी तरह से समझाए, और वहाँ पे ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ दैट फिजिकल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन काफ़ी उसमें है. लास्ट मीटिंग में भी जब हमने आरबीआई से इस बारे में डिस्कस किया था, उसमें हमने बोला था कि आप हमसे गवर्नेंस चाह रहे हैं, विल डू इट, नो प्रॉब्लम, बट आप भी सेक्टर के साथ इंटरेक्शन हुई है, खुद जाके मिलिए सेक्टर को, और सेक्टर को जाके मिलेंगे तब उनसे डायरेक्टली, अगर लीडर वहाँ जाके जो भी है, गवर्नर जाके वहाँ अगर बोलते हैं कि ये हमें चाहिए, ये हम आपसे हमारी ये उम्मीद है, ऑन दैट बेसिस एट प्रेजेंट गवर्नर ने 3 मीटिंग्स, बॉम्बे, अहमदाबाद एंड बेंगलोर. ही इज इंटरेक्शन विथ ऑल सेक्टर्स, एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ही focus on only governance and governance. And that's why we are really thanks for the governor also. He is coming in front of the all banks and facing the all problem of cooperative sectors regarding this. And he is only focusing only one thing's governance.
Correct. Foundation.
ट्रेनिंग के
Foundation.
बारे में मुझे आरबीआई ने एक अच्छा किया, मुझे अच्छा लगा. Some of the directors may not like it, but it's a novel idea. Now what they do, this CAB जो कॉलेज है पुणे का, they
Cap.
पुणे का
Cap.
College
Training
of
college.
Agricultural Banking.
they many times they take the discussion with the board on web, एक टॉपिक पर लेते हैं. अभी आपको मालूम है बहुत टाइम जब इधर आके जब डिस्कशन करते हैं और वेब पे डिस्कशन करना, हर एक अपना अपना घर में डायरेक्ट लेता है. उन्होंने लास्ट टाइम क्या क्या मालूम है, उन्होंने ऐसा कंडीशन डाला, जो डायरेक्टर उसमें पार्टिसिपेट करेगा उसको ही हम सर्टिफिकेट देंगे, यू हैव टू स्पीक. तो उसका नतीजा वो ये हो गया, जिन्होंने कुछ भी बोला नहीं ना उनको सर्टिफिकेट नहीं दिया, और जिन्होंने पूछा कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछा उनको ही उन्होंने सर्टिफिकेट दिया. एंड उन्होंने क्या बोला, दिस डाटा विल सेंड इट टू योर आरबीआई एसएसएम ऑफिस एंड इट विल बी पार्ट ऑफ द ट्रेनिंग, पार्ट ऑफ योर गवर्नेंस सिस्टम. इतना तक इट्स अ फैक्ट. आई एक्सपीरियंस दिस.
Sir, you have been from Kerala. Okay. And generally, there is a very big divide between the different cultures in different banking. And Kerala, per se, has been very strong in the cooperative banking culture. But when it comes to risk management, when it comes to the NPA ratios, the sector has faced a lot of problems, especially the urban banking sector also. And many of the banks have been undergoing into the supervisory action committee, and that is not just Kerala alone, most of the banks in the cooperative banking sector. One of the more important problems that the banks face is the board forces them to give credit many a times. That credit is not a viable credit. Am I correct? In many of the banks, it happens. On the other side, governing and putting a right risk management framework is something that the boards struggle with or the CEOs struggle with. What is your suggestion based on your examples of leading a bank which has such a big tradition? How can actually the CEOs inculcate a culture of governance in the bank so that these futuristic risk management issues, which RBI is expecting you to have a vision glass for the future for 10 to 15 years, how can you put some of those structures into practice? And what are the suggestions that you as a CEO can share with the sector?
Actually, banking nowadays is managing how effectively we manage the risk. That is the most important thing. How far we can manage the risk coming to different risk. The audit was also different. The Reserve Bank of India, the regulator, they are mainly concentrating on risk-based auditing and risk-based inspection. All are based on risks. But we have to manage the risk very effectively. That is the most important thing. But as far as in Kerala is concerned, the cooperative sector is very strong in Kerala. We have around 60 urban cooperative banks and 1,500 so many credit societies are there. They have a very important role in the growth of our country. Actually, we are going for to be a developed country in 2047. Actually, we have to contribute more into that sector, I think. The cooperative sector have a great role to play in this growth scenario of India. However, this type of conferences made a spirit among the cooperative banks. I really appreciate Banking Frontiers and NAFCUB conducting this type of discussions and how we can improve our sector. The most important thing I feel is that's the professionalism and governance is there. Most important thing is professionalism, I think. There should be a professional management among the total teamwork should be there in all the banks. The staff should be adequately qualified, and the recruitment structure in as far as our Kerala is concerned, Kerala in our in banks there is a JDC and HDC is the minimum qualification, and 10 standard is the qualification for the recruitment in urban cooperative banks and primary sector. That should be in Maharashtra and Gujarat. That scenario may not be there. They can directly recruit chartered accountants and qualified MBA holders. There is a professionalism in this area, in Maharashtra, this area. In Kerala, that professionalism is not there actually. The staff professionalism is, there should be a continuous training should be there. Then only we can improve the professionalism. Another aspect is technology. Technology is the most important thing. Nowadays, technology is moving in a higher space, and almost all, without technology, banks can't work. That's the important thing. At the same time, if we improve the technology, we can go with the technology, then cyber security aspect is also very important. The bank can lose so many amount of money with these cyber security attacks. The latest technologies are available in the market. At the same time, the hackers and the cyber criminals are
Is available for
identifying so
everyone.
many other ways to do these things. As far as I am concerned, the professionalism, the technology and governance, there is an equilibrium should be there between these things to have. We should have a contribution to the country's development, and we can play a greater role for this
Thank you.
growth
Thank you
and
for
development.
that interesting comment. See, Ajay ji said one very interesting thing. You cannot fight the battle from all the sides. You have to use it. You have to use a strategy to attack where it is the weakest. And probably Shaktikanta Das did one very interesting thing of attacking the governance first. Because if the system is in place, then the entire foundation comes into place properly, and then the pillars can be built into it. So that is exactly what he is trying to do. And hopefully, I am sure that once the system and governance is in place, then automatically the rest of the pillars will slowly start falling into the place. Now, one of the biggest problem in the cooperative sector, like you said, is the talent. Okay? And the brand of cooperative. After Madhavpura, after every second month, I am reading this many cooperative banks have been, the license has been taken back. Okay? That doesn't give anybody confidence about cooperative sector. I always ask this question, how many of us bankers in this room want our sons and daughters to work in a cooperative bank? Nobody. Okay? Why? It is our sector. We build this sector. Why are we not confident about it? And that is where we need to reinforce the brand of cooperative. And from 6% and 8% market share, can we add one 2-digit? Make it 12, make it 15, make it up to 20? And what is needed for that? One is policy. The policy maker will not give you policy till he is confident he has a trust on the cooperative sector. How will you build the trust? And I'm sure the CEOs sitting around here or the people who are in the boards of cooperative banks must have tried different methodologies. But has there been a concentrated effort to build trust in the cooperative sector? Sir, you have some thoughts to share. Please.
You asked a question. We are all in urban cooperative banking sector, whether our children are banking with us or the youngsters are banking. See, it is a sector risk cooperative banks have. See, let us say somebody says we should attract the young to the cooperative banking. How do you do that? A young person, we have given them an educational loan. He has gone abroad and he got a job. He was remitting money for 2-3 years. He returned home. He is opening an account in ICICI, HDFC, NRE, NRO accounts. He is not coming to cooperative banks. If his aspiration, if he is settling in India, when we interviewed what is his aspiration, first he wants to buy a motorcycle. After 2 years, he wants to buy a car. After 3 years, he wants to build a house. And most of the transactions he wants to do from his home. That is what the expectation of the young man. Though we have financed him for an educational loan from his childhood to post-graduation, after returning from USA, he is not with us. We need to think a lot. New to credit borrower. Most important is he has not borrowed at all, anywhere. His father has borrowed and sent him. But while he comes back, he doesn't want to come to the cooperative banking. A serious issue we should all address.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. Okay? What is it that you can do to create that brand cooperative in the minds of the youngsters? Jyotindra Mehta created a logo, Proudly Cooperative. I saw that logo about 7 years back when there was a conference in Delhi. He unveiled a flag of cooperative and put that logo of Proudly Cooperative. How many of banks today put Proudly Cooperative in their logos or communications? Yes. But if you ask a raise of hands in the room, you will not even find 20% of the people. Can we enroll the sector to adopt the culture of cooperative in the sector itself and create a national brand cooperative? India has so many cooperative banks.
आपका मोटो ठीक है, अपने ठीक है।
ले लीजिए ना।
कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर में जो लोग लगे हुए हैं वो प्राउडली फील नहीं करते हैं, ये मेरा अनुभव नहीं है। It is not my experience that the people who are engaged in cooperative sector do not feel proudly. Every cooperator feels proud of cooperative sector. It should be developed as a bigger brand and all these things are to be taken care of. We have to cope up with the situation. That I understand. That we understand. But we take it, we feel honored that we are working in a cooperative sector. We feel honored that we have created cooperative sector. We feel honored that we have created employment to the people. We know that we have done a job, good job for the people. Those who deserve and we helped. So we
Absolutely.
feel proud of it. I don't know who is the person who do not feel proud of the cooperative sector.
Absolutely. You are in this sector because you are proud of it, and that is exactly the reason you are in this sector. And
See, we are proud of that. I personally feel, I consider myself as a cooperative banker, not a corporate banker. But the cooperative banker. See, the thing is that, what happened, since I told you, I moved, the first generation, earlier, my parents, my grandparents, they were banking with cooperative bank. But this latest generation, their daughter, son, whatever, whosoever, उनको कोऑपरेटिव बैंक बोले तो कुछ अलग ही लगता है बिकॉज दे उन्होंने क्या किया जब उन्होंने लिया ना see they are of the computer age.
I am agree with you because my bank is 100 years old. My grandfather installed it.
They
After
like
that my father, my son is not interesting. बोलता है छोड़ दो, बेच दो, दे दो.
because the senior they come to our cooperative bank as I work, they हमारे अच्छे साथ बात करते हैं पर अभी का जनरेशन है ना उनको एक हमको पूछते हैं क्यों जाते हैं बैंक में.
Please, sorry, but I feel that it is a little exaggerated that no, people are not interested in cooperative banks. Sorry. People are interested in cooperative banks, so it is growing. I know, I can understand that it should grow as the potential is. For that, we have to work. But if we say that nobody is interested, then that it means it is gone. The cooperative movement is gone. I tell you one thing, I am very clear about that we are working for the cooperative movement. It is not only a bank. We are working, and cooperative movement in this, not only in this country, in the whole world, this cooperative movement is required. It is a new economic order. We have to promote it. If people are not coming to this sector, we have to bring them to in this sector.
That is exactly what we have to
And
work.
what we have to do is that wherever there are some weaknesses, we will improve. But while sitting here, if I don't contest this thing, that people are not coming, people are not interested, young men are not interested, do you think that young men are interested in the social service? How many people are interested in social service? Now, anybody can say that social service is not required? It is required. So, there are problems. Yes, we can understand the psychology of the young people. But do you know that how many young people are employed, what is that? Not having job? What are they doing? And I tell you one thing, which has been said, in our area, people are interested to work in cooperative banks. Cooperative banks are paying good enough salary to the staff. How can you say that people are not interested in cooperative banks? We are growing. I agree that we should grow fast. We should adopt new ideology, new technology, new system, new governance. We agree for that and we are working for that. Though speed is less. That is why I said that we are growing incrementally.
Absolutely.
We are not very fast, because if we start growing fast, we may lose something. So we are growing incrementally, and we are satisfied with that. Not satisfied. I know. Dissatisfaction is very important. So we are dissatisfied for the purpose that it should grow little fast.
And
We can cope up with this situation. Not only the country, international. But cooperative
Absolutely,
sector
sir.
is acceptable to the people.
our aim today is to discuss how you can constructively create the cooperative sector to the next level of growth.
Yeah.
And we are all here for a constructive
Create faith
discussion.
on young generations.
Absolutely. See, we are,
That is-
India is a country which is the largest young population in the world. How can we actually constructively bring together that younger population into the gamut of banking is what leaders here can actually think about, because you are all the guys who are leading and running the cooperative banking sector.
So we can conclude, but I must say, our is the largest cooperative movement, is the largest movement in our country. We have 30 crore members. No other sector has 30 crore members. We have 10 lakh societies. How you can say we are irrelevant? We are much relevant, but our relevance is toward social engineering, not to the capitalism. Capital is secondary in cooperative. Doctor, you know better everything. Capital was not the consideration in cooperatives.
I would just like to add two things. One is that, you take a cooperative society, how many members are there as shareholders? You can see 30,000 or 10,000, whatever it is. Who are the active members? Less than 10%. Why? It's a basic question. So that means even those members or their shareholders are not actively participating in or not utilizing the various facilities offered by the bank. Why? Because their expectations are high. They want the money to be transferred immediately. They want quick paying systems. They want credit card type of operation. They want Swiggy and other type of thing. They want Instamart type of thing. They are offering services 24 hours. If I want to purchase something on Instamart, even at 11 p.m. or 9 or midnight, they will supply. But in a cooperative society, they are ready to take this facility. One other finding which I recently had is that, after joining the bank, I purposefully decided to reduce the rate of interest for the gold loan. Now it is 7.45%. The lowest, because my cost is around 6.7. So I took a very small margin. I could not attract any new client because of this. Babuji, I could not attract any single client. So I made a study and I could realize that, they are least interested in the interest rate, but they are interested in the amount that you are paying per gram. The non-banking financial companies are paying 80%, more than 80% or even 90%. But loan-to-value system is there. We cannot finance more than 70. So yeah, on an event, in the event of repayment, including interest, you cannot cross 75%.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'll be giving per gram 5,000 rupees or 4,800 rupees. The other banker or the other non-banking financial company is giving 5,600 rupees. And for his urgency only he is going there. He is not bothered about the interest. I am giving 7.545 and he is charging 12%. So this is an attitudinal issue which is also to be addressed.
And we have to re-engineer basically the attitude and things
Yeah,
like that.
one more issue which we have seen that, that is, we have created a system which was age old. And the system is not yet modified. And as part of governance, it is important to create a system. You were asking a question to Dilip, how you can manage. And from my point, I can tell you that, if I am creating, this is the parameters by which or through which you will be able to avail a loan. No director can interfere because you are creating point system. When the application is reaching you, if this is not there, you will not be able to give it. And then you can give, provided you can override it. Then you are responsible.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This is the issue.
Great.
You
Excellent.
see, so far the gold loan is concerned, those who are doing this work, who are dealing with gold loan in cooperative sector, these are governed by RBI rules. It is not our attitude. We are governed by RBI rules, and RBI has different rules for cooperative sector and different rule for nationalized sector, the commercial sector. We want the same rule should be applied upon cooperative sector. We want to go for gold loan. Number of cooperative banks want to go for gold loan, but they are hesitant because there are certain rules which they are not in a position to follow. And there are some penalties on some of the banks because of they are not following those rules. So we are dealing, we are working, we are talking to the RBI that there should be some relaxation as it is available for the commercial banks.
Correct.
That is we are
So
taking
that is
care of that.
That is
It
the
is not our
constructive work.
attitude.
That is the constructive work that the federation is taking up as a
Already-
body.
We have
to take
already
it up.
taken these issues.
The federation effort was seen by a latest circular. The latest circular issued by RBI says that certain practices by lending institutions have been observed critically, and that circular is addressed to commercial banks, primary cooperative banks, and NBFCs. And it says uniformly all the parameters. Now slowly our federation's efforts are being reflected in the RBI policy. Same circular is issued to cooperatives and commercial banks.
Superb.
Ji,
I
sir.
think you had a question, sir.
जी सर नमस्कार माई सेल्फ VM सखिया CEO राजकोट डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक। आज का जो सब्जेक्ट है ब्रांड कोऑपरेटिव, इसके बारे में 2 मिनट में बोलना चाहता हूँ कि हमारा दोस्त साहब ने बताया कि अभी कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट पूरे इंडिया में चल रही है एंड नाउ इज ग्रोइंग। अभी कोऑपरेटिव में पूरा डेवलपमेंट चल रहा है। इस कोरोना के बाद जो डेवलपमेंट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हुआ है वो कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर में हुआ है। इसका मैं एक एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं राजकोट डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक में CEO 2017 से हूँ। हमारा ये MD घनश्याम भाई बैठे और डायरेक्टर भी है। 2017 में राजकोट डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक की डिपॉजिट 2017 में 3,300 करोड़ थी। आज 2024 में 9,000 करोड़ है। इट मीन्स के 3 टाइम डिपॉजिट हुई। दूसरा हमारा फाइनेंस इज 2,100 करोड़, नाउ फाइनेंस इज 6,500 करोड़ एंड प्रॉफिट ऑन एन एवरेज 50 to 60 करोड़ in 2017. Now our bank's gross profit is 251 crore. And with our farmers, 2 lakhs 25 lakhs. And per year, new farmers add with our cooperative movement is the 20,000 person. एंड वो इसके बारे में ब्रांडिंग के बाद आप साहब ने बताया कि बच्चा लोग अभी कोऑपरेटिव में नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है सर। उसकी मूवमेंट मजबूत बनाने का, उस ब्रांड बनाने की जिम्मेदारी हमारी है। आज मेरी बैंक की 200 ब्रांच है, वहाँ कोई भी जाता है, गांव में नेशनलाइज बैंक है, किसी बंदा को कॉल करता है कि आप कहाँ, तो मैं मेरी बैंक में खड़ा हूँ। वो हमारी जो कोऑपरेटिव का जो लीडर है, वो किसान है, वो मेंबर है, वो बोलता है कि हमारी बैंक में मैं खड़ा हूँ। तो ब्रांडिंग के लिए वो पूरे एक मिनट सर,
हाँ,
ब्रांडिंग के लिए कुछ काम करना पड़ता है। मैं इससे 2 एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ, ओनली फॉर 2 एग्जांपल। बैंक ने हमने एक प्रोग्राम दिया, बैंक अपने द्वार, काफी लोगों का अकाउंट था, लास्ट 20 ईयर से केसीसी लोन, सब लोन उनकी एसबी अकाउंट में हम पे क्रेडिट करते थे। लेकिन नया कंसेप्ट लेके 45,000 न्यू अकाउंट हमने ओपन 2 साल पहले किए। और 1 साल पहले एक छोटा सा गरीब परिवार सिक्योरिटी के इंक्वायरी करके डायरेक्ट मेरी चैम्बर में आ गया। वो एकदम पुअर पर्सन था, एक बहन जी था, एक भैया था, एक छोटा सा बच्चा था। तो उसने टेबल पे इलेक्शन कार्ड, आधार कार्ड और 2 फोटो रख के टेबल मेरे सामने भेज के रख दी कि सर मेरे को अकाउंट ओपन करना है। मैंने ये नहीं बताया कि आप यहाँ क्यों आए, मैंने बताया आप बैठो, चाय पानी पियो। उसको बताया कि आपको अकाउंट ओपन करने के लिए मेरे पास क्यों आना पड़ा। तो उसने बताया कि मैं 5-10 मेरी बैंक के 4 किलोमीटर आगे वो रहता था, तो कि किसी ने अकाउंट नहीं ओपन कर दिया क्योंकि उनके बच्चे का स्कॉलरशिप का अकाउंट ओपन करना था। तो मैंने उसी दिन अकाउंट ओपन करके मेरी मैनेजर्स मीटिंग बुलाई, जो हमारे सीनियर मैनेजमेंट की, और उसी स्कूल की विजिट लेके उनकी स्कूल में वेरी नेक्स्ट डे हमने 300 अकाउंट ओपन किए। और राजकोट में पूरी जो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल है वहाँ जाके हमने 12,000 अकाउंट ओपन किए। वो 3 साल की पहले की बात है
सर।
लेकिन
I want this session of yours in the vision of visionary section in the next session, tomorrow's session.
okay, right.
I want to bring these kind of innovation from learned bankers like you who have built up brand cooperative.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
ये हमको लेके आना है from banks who have successfully built brand cooperative.
Right. Very nice. Okay.
आपने जो बोला ना, जो बात कही, वही मैं वही कहना चाह रहा था कि यूथ में फेथ लाना चाहिए, सर्विस लानी चाहिए, टेक्नोलॉजी लानी चाहिए। ये 3 चीज़ अगर हमें यूथ को दी तो पूरा यूथ हमारे साथ जुड़
यूथ
सकता
हमारे
है।
साथ
वही
आएगा,
चीज़ मैंने बोली थी।
उनकी जो रिक्वायरमेंट है सोशली ऑनलाइन पेमेंट की है, कार्ड की है, IMPS की भी, वही हम सभी लानी पड़ेगी।
Absolutely.
कस्टमर सर्विस देने।
Thank you, sir.
मैं सर 2 चीज़ें बहुत ब्रीफली कहना चाहता था। एक तो आई सपोर्ट जो लक्ष्मीदास जी ने बोला कि कोऑपरेटिव में टैलेंट अट्रैक्ट हो रहा है, लोग आ रहे हैं, हम प्रूफ है। मैं प्राइवेट सेक्टर में बैंक्स NBFCs में काम कर रहा था, मैं कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर में आया हूँ। मेरा CTO पब्लिक सेक्टर में IDBI बैंक में काम कर रहा था, वहाँ से आया है। CFO प्राइवेट सेक्टर से आई है। हम कितने बैंकों में, अर्बन कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स में मिले जिसमें लोग एक्सिस बैंक से, कल PwC से, अच्छे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से आ रहे हैं। तो इनको हम मिल रहे हैं लोगों को जो ऑलरेडी अर्बन कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स ज्वाइन किए हैं। दैट इज पॉइंट नंबर 1। पॉइंट नंबर 2, जैसे अमूल ने किया एक ब्रांड करके, और वो जो यूनियंस थी उनको यूनाइट करके एक ब्रांड के एक झंडे के नीचे उसको पॉपुलराइज किया। जो आज हम चैलेंज फेस कर रहे हैं कि हमारे साथ नई यंग पॉपुलेशन जुड़ रही, यही जो चैलेंज है ये सरकारी बैंकों ने भी फेस किया है। जो स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया है, पंजाब नेशनल बैंक है, इनके सामने भी यही चैलेंज था। आप इनके ऐड देखिए ध्यान से, SBI के और इनके, ये नए ऐप लाके ट्रेंडी सा ऐड बना के और अट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं इसको। यही हमें करना है। एक अम्ब्रेला ब्रांड NAFCUB डिसाइड करे, एक ब्रांड का निर्माण करे, उसके पीछे एक PR कैंपेन हो जो उसको रहे। और उसमें एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है जो हमें एड्रेस करना चाहिए, जो कल वी हैड गुड फॉर्च्यून ऑफ लिसनिंग टू श्री सुरेश प्रभु जी इन कॉस्मोस इवेंट यस्टरडे। उन्होंने एक बहुत अच्छी बात बोली जो हमें पॉपुलराइज करनी चाहिए, अपनी ब्रांडिंग में इंक्लूड करनी चाहिए, कि सहकार से समृद्धि बोलते हैं हम। सहकार से समृद्धि कैसे आएगी? जब प्राइवेट सेक्टर कंपनी पैसा कमाती है, चाहे वो बैंक हो, चाहे NBFC हो, IT कंपनी हो, उनमें शेयर होल्डर्स जो होते हैं वो एक लिमिटेड लोग होते हैं, उसमें फॉरेनर्स भी होते हैं। वो पैसा शेयर होल्डर्स को बाहर जाता है या कुछ इंडस्ट्रियल हाउसेस के पास जाता है। जब कोऑपरेटिव बैंक पैसा कमाती है तो पैसा उन मेंबर्स में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होता है, तो आपके समाज में समृद्धि आती है, लोगों के हाथ में पैसा बढ़ता है। अदरवाइज कंट्री रिच हो, हम थर्ड लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी बन जाएं, फर्स्ट लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी बन जाएं और लोग फिर भी गरीब हैं गांव खेड़े में, ऐसी समृद्धि नहीं चाहते हिंदुस्तान वाले। ऐसी समृद्धि चाहते हैं जिसमें जो छोटे से छोटा किसान भी है, छोटे से छोटा व्यापारी है, उसके हाथ में भी पैसा हो, उसकी भी परचेजिंग पावर हो। ये उन्होंने जो कल बात बोली है, ये हमें अपनी ब्रांडिंग में लानी चाहिए कि अगर आप इस सेक्टर को सपोर्ट करते हो, यानी आप अपने समाज को, अपने लोगों को सपोर्ट करते हो, आपका पैसा फॉरेन कैपिटल या बड़े इंडस्ट्रियल हाउसेस के हाथ में नहीं जाएगा, आपके समाज के बीच में रहेगा। इसके साथ में अगर हम अम्ब्रेला ब्रांडिंग करके थोड़ा ट्रेंडी एड और पोजीशनिंग क्रिएट करके करेंगे, ये हो सकता है। एक बात और मैंने बोली थी पुणे में भी कि जितनी नेगेटिव न्यूज़ हैं, आज आप गूगल न्यूज़ में डालिए कोऑपरेटिव बैंक और सर्च मारिए तो सारी वो नेगेटिव न्यूज़ निकल के आती है। आज 3 बैंक बंद हुई या 4 बैंक बंद हुई, क्योंकि जो पॉजिटिव न्यूज़ है वो छपती नहीं है,
आती नहीं है।
हाँ, तो ये एक अम्ब्रेला में हमने लिया है इनिशिएटिव कि जितनी पॉजिटिव न्यूज़ हैं वो टर्न अराउंड की हों, टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्शन की हों, जो भी अच्छे काम सेक्टर ने किए हैं या समाज के लिए कोई अच्छा काम किया है, जिस कम्युनिटी का वो बैंक है उस कम्युनिटी के लिए उसने कोई अच्छा काम किया है, वो न्यूज़ छपनी चाहिए, ताकि जब कोऑपरेटिव बैंक की न्यूज़ कोई सर्च करे उसको ये आइटम भी दिखे कि नहीं, 2 काम खराब हो रहे हैं तो 8 काम अच्छे भी हो रहे हैं, और अच्छे काम ज़्यादा हो रहे हैं, जो नेगेटिव न्यूज़ है वो उसमें दबनी चाहिए, तब सेक्टर की इमेज इंप्रूव होगी। ये पीआर पे हमें थोड़ा सा काम करना पड़ेगा एज अ सेक्टर।
Great thoughts from you. See, one of the important things we started this award function is basically to highlight the best cooperative banks in the country. If you see any of the banks who are here, you will not see banks which are downtrodden. The banks who are getting awards are sharing, like I told Rajkot Bank, please share your good news. Please share your positive. Positive PR is missing in the cooperative banking sector, and that is what we want to bring through. We are also planning to create an industry research on nationwide on cooperative banking sector. We can work very closely with Umbrella and we can try to see how we can create this research on a yearly basis, a research on Indian cooperatives. And not just business, but technology, customer experience, and new business areas of growth. This is what we are planning to do in next years to come, and we can talk a lot more, deliberate with NAFCUB and other associations and federation and see how this research can be useful as a yardstick for the cooperative sector to take their business to the next level of growth. Sir, from Bengal Federation.
Yeah.
And we have one Tirur Bank also wanting to share. So you share, and then we will close. And before that, we also have to give an award to Tirur Bank because they are going tomorrow morning due to an urgent event in their bank. Please.
Okay, good evening to everybody. Actually, discussion regarding the growth of cooperative banks, cooperative sector. Both words are coming negative or positive. Both ways are there. Only one thing what I should say that everything is there. Negative examples are also there and positive examples are also there. Negative examples, if we are to cite, that may be for self-criticism only. But if we only harp on that regularly, that will only just demean ourselves. We cannot say that. I strongly support Lakshmidas ji when he said that cooperative sector is growing. I will just give 2 examples. I had been there in a selection committee for cooperative banks. I found that there were persons who is working in TCS. He has come to join that interview, giving that interview. I asked him, why are you planning to leave TCS? He simply said that my target is to work. I want to do work, at the same time I want to get some sort of satisfaction. Satisfaction, that is where there is money and where there is also service. In the cooperative sector, money is not the main factor. If we say it is a movement, it started as a movement only to save for a social cause. Here, profit is not the primary concern. We must remember that. So, with this view, we can say that it is growing and it will grow. One cooperative bank in our state, some 6 years back, that had an accumulated loss of 6 years. And 2 years back, that made an interesting turnaround, and now the bank has opened up new branches and it is working. It has a positive growth, and now its profit is more than 4 CR.
Wonderful.
And this very year, one bank, that is the largest cooperative bank in West Bengal, they have made a deposit growth of more than 60 CR this year only. 60 crore deposit they have made. Despite there is the bar of priority sector lending, we all know that this PSL target that has been very much dumping to the cooperative banks. There are specific sectors, agriculture, cooperative banks cannot lend, MSME, specifically for MSME loans, there are different types of hazards which can be solved by commercial banks, but cooperative banks, because of their technological deficiency or deficits, they cannot cover it. So most of the MSME loans do not come to cooperative banks. Despite cooperative banks are increasing their business size, despite they are making interesting turnaround. So we must not harp on the negative examples. We must think positive.
Absolutely.
If we are to grow proudly cooperative, we must think. And another thing that we must add, personally we must add something to the cooperative banks.
Absolutely.
Because those who come to the fold of cooperative banks, you know, for commercial banks, other banks, with loan and with interest, they for a slight fault, they are penalized. Some sort of fines are being collected from them. For cooperative banks, they are not getting. The newer generations, they may not know it. And another thing, what Chaturvedi ji told, that there is a good much negative propaganda against the cooperative banks. Where Reserve Bank penalized maybe some 1 lakh, that bank made a profit of 2 CR or 3 CR, but maybe for some fault Reserve Bank has penalized. But that will be highlighted. Reserve Bank punishes another bank like this. So this negative, for the cooperative sector, we do not have that much to propagate the positive news.
See, out of 1500 banks, if you have 2 news or 3 news, it is relatively a smaller percentage than out of 40 banks or 60 banks getting 5 news or 3 news. Correct? So I agree with you that we have to promote it. In fact, in the next event, tomorrow we are having this vision of visionaries. We are actually sharing what good things cooperative banks are doing, how they are doing. We are not just sharing what they did, but how they did. That is the learning that we want to share from everyone. If you have increased your business, like I don't know how many of you know Gayatri Bank from Andhra Pradesh. Okay? I have seen that bank with 50 crore deposit. Today, how much is the deposit, Madan Gopal Swamiji? Gayatri? How much? 625 crores, and overall I think they are a 2000 crore or 1500 crore bank. Correct? That is brand cooperative. And that guy has really shown the way how cooperative sector can develop. And we want to bring that success stories and good stories in front of us. We are just talking how to build brand. We are not criticizing the sector. We are trying to say how we can better. And I agree with your point. Good points have to be taken up. I think Tirur Bank, please just share your view.
Only just one word to add. That is here the role of Reserve Bank, that is also, I think, that should be revisited time and again, because whatever the regulatory aspects, the impositions on different types of cooperative banks, for the larger bank and for the smaller bank, if that be the same, then it is a problem. For specifically those cooperative banks which has a very small capital, they are working with some 10 employees or 15 employees or less than 20 employees. They are to, if they are to cover everything, they fail at every now and then. They need regulation, but at the same time they need hand holding. Otherwise they can't go for progress. That is also necessary.
We will work wherever umbrella and federations are
Umbrella
anyways working towards
support there,
it. So you will have to work as a lobby.
Yeah.
Okay, it cannot just happen overnight. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
Actually, handholding and
So
cooperative
police
fraternity
only
is needed.
comes to your
Yes.
home when crime happens. Let's happen the next.
Thank you.
But just to add one thing only, that is now our sector is permitted to finance for agriculture also. And recently we had a talk with RBI CGM, who is entrusted with the cooperative sector. She said our federation and NAFCUB can do much in this sector. That is, a lot of fund is being allotted by government to this agriculture sector. That is, actually, if we finance agriculture sector, we will be able to get the required amount of subsidy or refinance from NABARD. They are prepared to give, but we are not lending. So that is an opportunity. And many such opportunities are there. All subsidy-linked programs can be implemented through our bank. We have to move our hands to other sector. See, as RBI governor had said, money moving into the banks, it is coming down. He has recently mentioned. That means money is going to other areas, say mutual fund and insurance like that. So we have to move to that sector also. So diversification of our area. And similarly to reach this 75% priority sector, that will be a great barrier. For that, there is no other way other than moving to agriculture sector. So we have similarly gold. In gold loans, we are differentiated. That means only for our bank, 75% is being insisted by RBI, whereas for agriculture gold loans, some allowance is given to other banks. That is, in other banks say that they are giving loans to crop loans. As gold loans, they are giving crop loans. When we, as in Kerala, some of our banks put up this type of gold loans, they said it is not possible. Then they said if you are giving for agriculture loan as crop loans, you have to classify this as NPA. That is what that was. Then we said, if it is to be classified as NPA, agriculture norms should be brought in. That means after 2 years only, it should be treated as NPA. So such confusions are there.
So, sir,
so please,
these kind of conversations definitely will happen in a lobby.
Yeah, very good.
Where a federation, where a umbrella organization and a association has to take up.
Yeah.
But yes, these are genuine cases.
Yeah.
And wherever we can try to create a body, and I think if you are cooperative, you have to take it in a cooperative manner.
Yeah.
Only then the regulator will listen, because
Yes.
no regulator will create a regulation for one single bank.
Yeah, that is
So
what
we have to do that. Sir, your
that has been
question,
taken up.
please.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, myself Prashant Arbut. I'm from the Akola Urban Bank. Rightly, my fellow sir said that somebody from TCS.
Can you take the mic a little closer, sir?
Somebody from TCS has joined the cooperative bank, and Mr. Chaturvedi sir also said that PwC person also joined to cooperative bank. Let me tell about myself actually. I work 8 years out of India, and I was looking for the opportunity to work in my district only. And that was the hardest challenge I ever found. When I was working 7 years, I was working with the United Nations in Africa. When I came back in 2012, I started my own business to train the people in Cisco courses, Microsoft courses, the training institution I failed miserably. Then I tried to do only in my city only. That's what I wanted to contribute to my city actually. What the cooperative movement has given, the grassroots level, the work cooperative, these I am from the small city actually, let's say Akola, Buldhana, Vashi. The way they penetrated, the opportunity got, actually I only got the opportunity just because of the cooperative. If I want to do the job, I can still right now earn in $1 if I want. I can go to Pune, I can go to Bombay. I'm not earning that much, but the ratio, whatever the city ratio I'm getting. I'm quite happy with that, and that's what I
Superb,
wanted to
sir.
add.
I want to give you an example. If you heard, wonderful, a clap for him. We will end the session with this. But Sridhar Vembu, if you have heard of Sridhar Vembu, who is the CEO of Zoho, he came from US, set up Zoho's headquarters in his hometown. Okay? And this is one interesting thing cooperative banks can use as a marketing tool saying, get your job in your hometown. We welcome you to get your job in your hometown. Satisfaction unlimited and, service to your society and enough income. This
Yes,
kind of branding can actually be a great branding for
I
cooperative.
started market researching and everything, which area in my city I can work.
Excellent.
Only one answer I got. I can only work in a cooperative sector.
Superb.
If I want to work in a way that what my knowledge will let me to do actually, and if I want to effectively work putting my knowledge what I have, and
Wonderful,
I'm getting that, and even the
Excellent.
bank is getting benefited from that.
Excellent. Thank you very much.